Hello and welcome to FatBoss Weekly Season 2, Episode 14.
Hello.
And FatBoss Weekly, for the people who don't know, is mine and Alex's weekly news show where we talk about World of Warcraft news as well as other gaming news and anything that we particularly find interesting.
And things that we find interesting did happen, Lawrence. A lot of things. Many interesting such things. It was amazing.
Much interest.
Yeah, such interest. But first off, on Monday, just gone, we had the Alliance versus Horde flex race, didn't we, Lawrence?
We're actually talking about that.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
We're actually going to talk about that?
Yeah, so how did that go, Lars?
It never happened in the end.
Well, no.
We weren't able to make it.
Well, let's just be honest. So Lawrence was on the Horde side, weren't you?
I was.
And I was on the Alliance side.
You was.
And so who won that again?
It doesn't matter.
I think it does.
It's not important.
So the Alliance side won. I pushed forward and managed to win that one by a solid 10 minutes in the end.
It was 9 minutes, actually.
Well, whatever. Just around 9-10 minutes. It was really good fun, though. A lot of people seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, of course, we will be probably looking into maybe a rematch. Yeah?
I'm not
of course not. Of course not. They're there. We are most likely going to be looking into a rematch when we get a dual point of view fixed again. But yeah, so that's going to be happening. So maybe the Horde can win this time. We'll have to see.
Everyone who did come, thanks for coming. It was really, really funny.
It was.
Even though we lost.
Well, you
Fuck
lost.
you, Horde. Come on.
You lost.
Next time we're going to be better.
So yeah, it was really good fun. So looking forward to more events like that in the future. So moving on to WoW news, Lawrence.
Yep.
Blizzard have done something a bit crazy. Like I kind of read and I was like, what, why, okay, well, whatever, okay, that's fine. But you know American Chopper's a TV show?
I do.
Yeah, basically the whole TV show is that like a rich celebrity or like a company would go to these people who make these really nice bikes and they're like, oh, make me a bike covered in gravy or whatever, and then they'll make a gravy themed bike. That's it for every episode. But what Blizzard have done, they've approached them and like I guess it's like to generate a bit of hype towards Warlords of Draenor and stuff. But what they're doing, they're going to be building 2 motorcycles, right?
Right.
One for Horde and one for Alliance, like Alliance themed and Horde themed, right?
Right.
And what they're going to be doing, it looks like they're going to be making like 8 episodes of them like designing and making a bike. And what they're saying,
will this be on TV?
No, it's going to be on. It's like a web series.
Right.
I doubt it'll be on TV because they didn't say going on ABC this summer or whatever. So I assume it's just on the Blizz site. They've got a site for it. What they said that out of the 2 bikes, everyone's going to be able to vote which bike they like the most, and that bike will be put in game for free for that faction. So say the Horde bike wins, then everyone on Horde will get that free Horde bike, whereas Alliance get fuck all and vice versa.
Wow.
So it seems like a pretty cool idea.
Well, people are just going to vote for whatever their faction is, regardless.
Yeah,
and
so
there's more Alliance than there is Horde.
Well, I guess so. Well,
we've already lost, guys.
Yeah. Oh, either way. But the there's going to be some like lead developer people from Blizzard. So the Horde team for Blizzard is Sam Didier. Is that how you say it? Didier? Whatever. Jason Hutchins and Gary Plattner. And Alliance has Chris Metzen, Tauren Gregory, and Monty Kroll. So there we go. That's the
pretty
2
interesting.
teams.
I mean, it's cool that Blizzard are doing stuff like this with other companies and sort of like and collaborating with other companies, especially TV shows.
I think it's.
Are you going to watch it?
I might do because it's a web series and you can watch it at any time and they've got like a site for it. If the episodes are maybe like I don't know, I imagine they'll be between like 5 and 10 minutes each, and it's going to be released week by week, and then there'll be like a big finale sort of thing. So I think it might be a bit of fun to watch, see what's going on. I might have to skip through some maybe the boring bits. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan.
I used to quite like the show.
Right.
It's a bit long-winded, but
yeah,
I used to quite like the show, so I might watch it. But I don't know. I can imagine it being really fucking awkward.
Possibly because it might be like, right guys, we're going to make a bike, and then everyone like who works on the bikes who's never even like seen a computer before, like all they do is just like make like parts for bikes and shit. They're going to be like, oh yeah, because of the Alliance, I'm going to paint this blue. And that'll be pretty much it, because they don't know fuck all about the game.
So it's going to be a guy behind the camera of what you have to say.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
Script. Yes, I would like a red Horde bike because that represents the Horde.
Yeah,
I can imagine it being
hopefully it's not that bad. I'm sure it'll be really good, but either way, it's a bit of fun. So that whole voting thing will let you know when that actually does come out, and when you can actually vote for your favourite bikes. But I think it is quite cool that they're doing something maybe out of game that will kind of affect in game as well.
Yeah, and there is a link in the description, guys, so you guys can go watch the first episode whenever it airs.
Yeah, and there's like a trailer for it,
which is on the 17th of April, is it?
Yeah,
I didn't see the trailer.
It's a bit awkward.
It's on the 17th of April, guys, so you can go check it out on the Azeroth Choppers website.
Yes. So moving away from bikie news, Lawrence, the Warlords of Draenor Alpha. A lot of things have been happening with that because you know that Blizzard kind of sent out some Warlords of Draenor Alpha clients. What people did, I mean, a lot of people, they quickly turned that into a private server so they could go sandbox
They took the
mode.
information and made it a sandbox mode. And
Yeah, so what people could do, they could explore the current alpha build that was set out in all of its glory. They'll be able to use all the GM tools that you'd normally use on a private server, such as God mode, the flying and morphing yourself, all that kind of stuff, so you could see all this stuff. Like MMO Champion were one of the first to do this, and they was even streaming it on the on Twitch, so I'm sure quite a few people actually checked that out, and many other people also did it. But I don't think Blizzard were very happy about people making a private server. About this, because what they did, they even asked MMO Champion to remove all the pictures, which they did, of the not the data mine stuff. They didn't seem to give a shit about the data mine stuff. All that stuff's still available on the site, but the actual in-game like sort of private server footage and like,
screenshots and whatnot,
So, and also Twitch did put a notice out saying that World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor is not yet eligible for broadcasting. Broadcasting this content will result in a DMCA suspension. So pretty much you'll be fucked over if you try and stream it now. So it's a little bit weird, really. I don't really know what Blizzard kind of expected. Considering there was like no NDA at all, so no non-disclosure agreement. So pretty much they said, do whatever.
I don't think they expected the files to get out to as many people as maybe they did.
Yeah, it seemed
and there
like
were
everyone
websites,
could get it.
There were lots of websites such as OwnCore that had all the files patched ready for you to install on your PC so you could start playing it yourself in sandbox mode.
Yeah.
So people were very quick in turning it into a private server, and that's sort of the result of it.
But I don't really get the point of why they even sent it out in the first place, if it was just like...
Well, it was obviously a mistake, but either way, guys, we can't share you the information.
Yeah, we're not going to show you any of the like actual in-game screenshots because obviously Blizzard doesn't really want, and we don't want to exactly piss off Blizzard. So there's some other screenshots of like the stuff that's been data mined up on the screen for you. But yeah, it's just a little bit weird that happened, to be honest. That they were so angry about it. Well, they didn't really say anything. It just seems that everyone just went hush-hush about it, like out of nowhere. So I'm not really sure what's going on. But one thing that WatcherDev, who's a developer at Blizzard, said on Twitter, that there were, even though there was only 6 dungeons available in the alpha build, there are actually going to be 8 dungeons in Warlords of Draenor. So of course it was very incomplete. If you did actually see any of it, there was lots of placeholders, loads of missing textures, like some of the maps didn't even have any textures at all, that kind of stuff. So it was really, really alpha. But it's a bit strange that it was like all kind of covered up.
And for the people who were watching the MMO Champion stream, like I was, there's quite a lot of people in chat who I recognised. It was pretty interesting to see they are moving along quite quickly with the game, or at least with the version of the alpha they released. A lot of it was complete. It wasn't all completely empty lands with no textures.
Yeah, there was a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm sure you can easily, if you just...
I don't want to hype it too much because some of you might not have seen it and now you can't.
Well, you can. If you Google it, I'm sure you can go and find them somewhere. Like, there's loads of, like, even on the WoW subreddit, there's lots of, screenshots and stuff. You just probably won't be able to find it through official fan sites because Blizzard have probably told them to fuck off, but, like, some random person who screenshotted it and made an image of album, then you'll be able to see it through that, so...
But, again, we're not going to provide links because...
Google it. Google's a thing.
Now, moving away from Googling illegal images that will get us banned from Twitch and on YouTube.
Yay!
Sexy Taurens.
Yeah, I know, right?
The new sexy Tauren models have been released.
And they look really, really cool. Like, they released a huge, like, Artcraft post about it with loads of different pictures and videos of, like, how diverse it is. Like, they showed how all the facial animations and how they could change all that.
There was videos on how they made it,
So, it looks really good. Tauren males...
I think they look a little bit shit. I'm not going to be honest. I think they look better, but they look kind of scary.
They are a little bit cartoony, like, more so than what WoW normally is. WoW itself is a bit cartoony, like... Yeah, that's kind of the graphic style of the game, which is why it kind of still looks okay after all these years, you know. It looks maybe a little bit too cartoony. I might give you that.
I think they just look super animated in their expressions or whatnot. I think they're just over the top and look ridiculous. And they're fucking Taurens. They're supposed to be like the miserable, monotone...
Yeah.
Not necessarily miserable. You know, that I don't speak. I'm a Tauren. I stay in one tone. I will kill you.
Yeah, you stuff like that.
Not all this, like, wide-eyed fucking teeth snarling fucking ridiculous looking Tauren. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going.
We'll have to see. It is only a little bit of a preview, but yeah, I must admit it is very animated, so maybe they might need to tone it down. But I really like the spellcasting stuff. It looks like they've just got a giant fan. That's what they did. That's the only animation. They just put a giant fan in front of it, so wind blows everywhere, and it looks amazing. So yeah, good job Blizzard overall. Maybe a little bit too much on the animation side, but I think it's pretty goddamn cool.
Now, over the past week or so, there's been various live hotfixes
to
the
cool.
live servers. Basically, just quality of life changes. What they've done, which is probably the best thing they've ever done, is each World of Warcraft account can now create a maximum of 10 instances an hour rather than 5.
Yeah, so if you ever was grinding out like a single instance or doing loads of little instances one after another, and you got the too many instances thing, it was
so frustrating. Especially, I mean, what I would do every single Wednesday. What I used to do, I haven't done it so much recently since Diablo's come out.
God.
But beforehand, I'd always put all my characters outside Malagos.
Yeah.
All 5 of them. Kill Malagos. I'd then go to Onyxia's lair. But then I'd go AFK. Because I could kill Malagos and all 5 characters in, half an hour? Then I had to wait another half an hour before I could do Onyxia.
Yeah, that was a problem.
So that fixes that for me, so I'm actually going to start doing it again and actually get the mounts.
Yeah.
But the thing with me is, why is it there at all? I mean, originally it was put there to prevent people from farming certain areas of the game within instances, but I don't think that really applies anymore. I mean, it's there to also stop bots, and mainly it was because of the Dire Maul bots. There were people who were going into Dire Maul who could teleport around using teleport glitches and hacks. But I don't know if they're widely used these days, but I imagine the World of Warcraft Warden, which is like the... I'm going to say their firewall. That's not the correct word at all, but...
It's like the anti-hack
It's the anti-hack. That will catch you super quick if you use teleport hacks and whatnot. If you're botting, probably not as much. You probably won't get like insta-banned like you would with like a teleport hack or anything like that. So I don't really see the point of this 5 instances or even 10 instances. 20 would make sense because I can still do 10 instances in an hour. Easy.
Yeah. I really don't understand. Maybe it's like something to do with trying to limit the server capacity or something. Because I don't know. I don't really know too much about the infrastructure of how servers work with instances. Like, do they need to put that onto a different server or what? Is that we're still within the same place or I'm not really sure. So I'm sure there's a reason that it's there.
Either way, it's an improvement.
It's
and
definitely
now that it
amazing.
Is 10 instead of 5, that's a good thing.
Well, you could even like speedrun 32 raids now, like properly. Because I remember when we were doing it, I had to sit outside for like 20 minutes out of Onyxia because I was like, let me in. So I might actually start speedrunning 32 raids. We'll see. But either way, very cool. I'm very, very pleased with that. And more changes, Lawrence. Which I think are really quite cool. So what they've done is that they've made it so all the world bosses, there's loads in Pandaria, loads of world bosses, they're no longer tapped to faction. So they say that players from both faction that engage the world boss at the same time are now eligible for loot. So pretty much, if you're Horde and like an alliance person attacks it first, if you then attack it, it's fine because there's no longer faction tags. So that's so much better in my opinion.
Yeah, this solves essentially 2 problems. One, an arsehole alliance that decides to pull the boss before the Horde, even though there's way more Horde. And the Horde have to reset the boss because it's just all fucked up. Saves a lot of time with that, but it also saves the problem if you're on... Maybe you're on an Alliance stack server and you're a Horde.
Yeah.
And you have, like, big-time problems trying to kill Ordos or whatever. Now you won't, because you can kill it with the Alliance. They'll probably still kill you, but as long as you've tagged him, don't matter. You'll still be eligible for loot.
But the thing is, maybe that it kind of takes away from the whole, like, I feel that the Alliance versus Horde, like, fighting sort of part of this game is kind of really coming down a lot more.
Yeah, but you're kind of brought together for Siege of Orgrimmar, so it kind of makes sense.
They still hate each other, though.
They still hate each other, but they're working together to fight a higher cause.
A higher cause.
A higher power.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this change. But overall, I guess it's a nicer quality of life change, but I'm not sure really it's...
I think it makes more sense while more players are sort of done with the content and are actually doing different things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a good change in my opinion. And also the final thing they did this week is they did actually add the challenge gong.
Yes.
To Siege in the Zhao Temple on normal mode. So people can actually clear that instance on normal in the 5-man instance very heroic, quick. Or heroic, sorry.
So you can keep banging the gong to make it so the wave of ads keep coming on the second bus, because I know that was like a lot of people were just like, we hate this. Yeah. Like I remember there was a thread, like a little poll saying which one of these instances, if you could blacklist, would you blacklist? and everyone just picked into Siege and Nizel.
It was like 50%.
Yeah, it was like a ridiculously high percentage. So yeah, it's good that they put that in, and I've actually been in there and it works and everything. So good job.
Good shit.
Nice. Now moving on to the part of the show we look at our mail.
You guys know how it works. Send in your mail to us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Twitch, and there's a chance you'll be featured next week.
Yes, and first off, we got 2 pieces of shit art. Well, it's
Nice.
good art. It's very nice
We'll call
art.
it shit art.
Yeah, but it's both from Nicolaj. I've always say his name wrong, but he's told me now to call him System Shock because that's what he's on Twitch. And he sent us 2 pictures. Remember he sent us the reindeer one last FatBoss Weekly with Santa on top, which was FatBoss. Now he's actually sent us 2 pictures. The first one is of my character, Corgis Please. He did like a nice little paint of it. I think it looks pretty goddamn cool. Looking pretty sexy.
Pretty impressive.
But I think the best one is a picture of Braveheart FatBoss that he's called Brave Boss. And
I like that.
It's pretty good. Like I can imagine that. That's how I feel when we're just about to pull the boss, rallying the troops in our flexes. That's what I was like on Monday. Yeah. So awesome pictures. Thank you so much, System Shock. Awesome art as always.
And we have a question from Nichelin on Twitch. He says, "Hello Fatboss, Nichelin here. I was wondering what your opinion is on how all the Warlords of Draenor changes are affecting everyone due to how stats work. To me, the unique feel of being separate to other people's characters is leaving due to the fact that professions are having their raid bonuses removed and the fact that there will be less itemization needed on gear. This change to me seems like it is making you be the same as other people and that unique builds are leaving. Keep up the fantastic work, guys. Thanks a lot, Nichelin."
Yeah, because we have talked quite a lot about like, oh, they're changing this and changing that, but we never really talked about how it kind of affects all the classes as a whole. Because they are making it so, like, even in PvP, a lot of the, like, they share a lot of the CC cooldowns, and that, like, they are kind of removing some of the abilities, and it seems like maybe they are making all the classes very similar. And there was a problem with that beforehand, you know, when they made all the buffs the same. So you didn't, like, if you needed a stamina buff, you could bring a Warlock or a Hunter instead. Like, that kind of thing. So, I don't know. I think there is always a risk in this game that they are going to try and make the classes too similar.
I mean, the reason why they would do that is for balancing for PvP.
Yeah.
And obviously PvE as well to a certain extent, so you don't class stack.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a big deal because the itemization on gear, although it's being like simplified because they're removing hit and expertise, and obviously with the professions going, all that does is affect those sort of stats, like stats that are important. But the fact is, right now, stats that are important are kind of boring. Like hit and expertise, they're just things that you get the cap of and then you never look at again. The same arguably with haste. Once you get the dot breakpoint or the hot breakpoint or the healing ring breakpoint or whatever, after that point it's like, yeah, bit boring. Whereas in the expansion they're adding new stats to items, aren't they? So they're going to have the same old boring stats, but then they're going to have things like lifesteal, cleave, movement speed increase, all those sort of things.
The thing I have a problem with is like, I know what he's saying, like with, you can't really build your own way anymore. Like with the removal of reforging.
Well, you couldn't really before.
You can at the moment. You can right now. Like, as I know as a hunter for a fact, like the fact that Beast Mastery, like just talking briefly about Beast Mastery, the stat priority for that is so all over the place that like you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. Like at the moment, I'm completely haste stacked and I'm doing a shit ton of damage, whereas crit can be
but that's a slightly different situation because with hunters, all those stats nearly outweigh each other, so they're all decent. But for example, if you was going to play, I don't know, an elemental shaman, and you was like, well, I'm going to be unique and I'm going to go full crit stacked, you're going to do no damage to someone who's full mastery stacked.
But like that still gives you the choice of being able to fuck about. Like say you're not even doing it for high end raiding, say you only go to looking for raiding, you still try, but you want to just do loads of critical hits. That's maybe what you want to do, or maybe you just want to be casting really fast. It just removes choice,
which you'll be able to do with gems.
But they're like nerfing the shit out of gems.
There's less gems, but they're making gems more powerful, so you can still do it.
I still think the lack of reforging, like even though reforging is a pain in the arse and most of the time it's pretty much get the add-on to do it, it still provides a choice. And I think that's maybe making it so everyone will be given the stats that they just need to do the damage, so everyone will be similar. You know, that's kind of...
Yeah, I get your point, but I'm trying to argue the other side.
Yeah, so... I do get that, but yeah... I kind of get what you mean, Nichelin, but we're going to have to see really what's going to happen on the beta, if I'm honest.
But yeah, I don't think they're taking it away at all.
So we'll have to see how diverse the classes actually get on the beta, and then we'll come back to you, I suppose. And the last one comes in from Chanting Sort of on Twitch, who says, I know you've answered a question of mine before, but I was wondering, with the introduction of the Tome of the Lost Legion, which is the Warlock Green Fire item, I have noticed that a lot of people ask for items to change their class aesthetically. And with this, I would like to ask you, what would you change to your class? Like, what aesthetically would you change to your class? I personally play a Warlock, but I think a book that would turn druids into Dynamancers, like it turns Flight form into Pterodactyls or Bear form into Triceratops and stuff like that, would be really cool, but it would totally mess up the lore. So what do you think, Lawrence? What class?
This kind of ties in with the last question about, you know, making your character unique. But obviously this isn't through gear, although it could be. It could be through gear. But yeah, I think these kind of things are great. I think there should be lots of diversity on how your class spells look, or how you even look as a character when you're playing the game. And I think this could be done through items. Yeah, instead of like do this quest chain, which Blizzard need to spend a lot of time on to actually design and everything like that, like they had to do with the Warlock Island thing.
Yeah.
With all the green fire and all that shit. What's preventing Blizzard making it so when Druid gloves do drop, Druid tier gloves, there's a 5% chance that when they drop, they also have the additional stat that means when you do claw, you turn into a bear. What did he say? Triceratops, sorry, for 10 seconds.
But they have done that in the past with other things, especially trinkets. Like I know of Sarafang in ICC, I remember that agility trinket. Oh, I have no idea what it's called. Fucking name. But it does turn you into something from Northrend. It's kind of a bit random what it would turn you into. Mainly it turns you into that ice dwarf thing.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking cool. As well as you've got the thing from Horadon that changes how you look. So there are some things. Oh, and also Major Domo Self turns you into a fire cat. So they have done the things like that in the past, which I think
they should do way more of them.
Yeah, I think
they should make it so maybe some of the effects have a low percent rate to also roll within the weapon.
Yeah.
Because then it's going to make people to want to continue to farm the content, not only just for the increased stat, but they said like when items are going to drop. And again, this ties in completely with the last question. When an item drops, they did say that if it's going to drop Warforged, it will have a chance of, you know, dropping an extra socket or having the extra effect that doesn't necessarily help your your DPS or your output greatly. It's usually just like a utility spell.
Yeah.
So, you know, like movement speed or whatever.
Yeah.
So if they could tie that in with gear, I reckon that'd be amazing.
Yeah, because they kind of made a step towards this anyway with transmog. Because of course you can make your character unique through transmog. You can go get a crazy set and make yourself look like a farmer or whatever. Most people just do it with challenge mode stuff because challenge mode stuff normally looks quite good. But they kind of had made like the first steps for that, but if they could go even further and make it so, I don't know,
it also affects your spells, or
yeah, to make it so, I don't know, when you do, I don't know, like glaive toss as hunters, instead of it sending out glaives, it sends out, I don't know, like a giant rabbit. That would be great. 2 giant rabbits.
You've been thinking about this for a long time, haven't you?
Long time. Didn't just think of that now. Just yeah. Either way, I think it would be awesome if they did add those kind of things in.
I don't see how that would be difficult to do either. I think it'll give you more reason to farm the content.
Yeah, and like play more of the game.
To make your character look fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, giant rabbits, please.
But anyway, guys, that's all we've got time for this week. Thanks a lot for watching. If you would like to read up on any of the topics that we've been talking about today, then you can see them in the description. They are highlighted. Click on them. You know, look at them, American Chopper and all that shit. If you guys would like to be featured in next week's show in the mailbox section, please do send in your mail to us on Facebook, Twitter, or on Twitch.
Yep.
And there's a chance you'll be featured next week.
Yes. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.